Hello, hello, hello! Welcome and well met. Welcome to the stream. I have a cat buddy and she's staring at me like, why are you being loud right now? Hello, I'm streaming, little kitty. That's why I'm being loud, so the mic can hear me. No, she's ignoring me. She's like, I got my answer. I don't care anymore. Anyway, I'm very excited and also very distracted today. Both, each for different reasons. Excited because we're finally on case 5. Well, episode 5, as it's called in game. I'm very excited for it, because this is possibly my this is a contender for one of my favorite, a contender for my favorite case in the whole of the Ace Attorney series. And yes, this is including, like, the Miles Edgeworth investigation stuff, and, like, the crossover, because I'll include that too. That has trials in it. Those are pretty interesting. But anyway, yeah, I'm like, this game, and it's this trial and the last 2 trials for the resolve part of things, which is Great Ace Attorney 2, in other words. Yeah, those 3. I can't decide which I like more. This is gonna be my second time going through it, so we'll see if my opinion changes, or I can have a more firm opinion. I don't know. Let's just get into it. Or start blabbering more. There we go. Little Misi, you gotta go. There we go. And alright, yeah, I'm just loading it up from the save here, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like most things, and I do have the, yes I do. I'm gonna double check, make sure I have to switch audio on, which is a yes. Okay. Yeah, just hit yeah. I did not get as much sleep as I should, because I just woke up randomly. So I'm a little sleep deprived. The Hound of the Baskervilles.
It's coming! Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear. Look well, Wilson, Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. For this is the diabolical Hound of the Baskervilles.
What's wild is I've read this story now. Oh, okay. That's gonna say, yes, that is. Alright, yeah, that is wild. I've read this story now. That is actually taken from the book. Yeah, they're out on a marsh, and there's just, Shlomes as it is in this game. But Sherlock, and Watson are just out in the marsh. The dog was not that big, though. It's actually, like, taken a little bit from, like, 2 parts. I think. Maybe 3. I described the Baskerville Hound a few times, so I'm not sure. But I have that story now. I've read it. That's so weird. Oh, that's very weird. Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this is Ryunosuke, so. Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country, and in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal that followed, closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However... Also, hello, everybody. I'm like, wait a second, I haven't said hello. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about Ryunosuke's like very slight, probably not very well done accent I've been doing for him. Because he does get a British accent. I don't know why it's the second day of the trial that he has an accent in the clip when he gets off the train, but then doesn't in the day after. I'm like, what? He did not. Wow, Ryunosuke picks up accents fast. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I like my thumbnail too. I spent way too long drawing that maid outfit, and I thought we would be still on the 4th case today. We were not, so it makes less sense, but I didn't want to bother changing it because I took way too long on the drawing as is. Oh boy. Yes, doggo is cute. I will admit the hound they draw in here is a good doggo. I feel bad. The dog in the Baskerville story, that's sad. If you don't like if you don't like bad things happening to animals, don't read that story. I'm laughing, but it's through the pain. Anyway, back to this. I'll see, and also I'm messing up on Ryunosuke's voice as is already. It is kind of hard for me to do his voice sometimes. Sometimes it's very easy. Well, most of the time actually has been very easy. Other times I'm like, how did I do it? Jeez. Okay. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court. It was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from my faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. 15th of April, 9:13 a.m. Naruhodo's legal oh gosh. Another word I know how to say it, but my mouth isn't gonna let me. Yay! Consultancy. There we go. Thank you, mouth. Jeez. Oh, hello. Knock, knock, knock. That morning, I was awoken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. After he'd gone... Susato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Susato-san? Yes! Oh, jeez. Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see. What case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment. Am I? Oh! No, of course not. How silly of me. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So shall we go down to Mr. Shlom's suite? Oh gosh, that is hard for me to say. Shlom's. Because that's the form of Shlom's hard. Like, assimilation into a new country and Ryunosuke is a star. I don't think the funny thing is, I can kind of do a cheesy, kind of broken Japanese accent because I know how the language is spoken, so I know, like, it's basically emphasize the vowels more. And speak pretty evenly. But anyway, I've been teaching myself how to speak Japanese, so I know how to actually kind of do an accent. A little bit. Very, very minusculely. I don't know how to do a British accent. Oh gosh, I know there's so many too, and I cannot tell. If you put a recording of like British, like most British accents next to Australian accents, I honestly couldn't tell the difference. It's everyone's like, but it's obvious. I'm like, not just somebody who doesn't know have the differences pointed out. I don't even know what makes a British accent, excuse me. So I'm like, oh boy, Ryunosuke has a British accent because surprise, surprise, he's in Britain. And I'm like, I might just keep him with, I would keep him more in the Japanese, but I know he talks in a couple of, there is some more animated cutscenes, and I know he talks to them. It's gonna be like tonal whiplash if you start speaking in a British accent, and I use a Japanese one. So I'm just gonna go neutral. Because I can't do a British accent to save my life. Anyway. Okay, I read this. Yeah, they're going out to breakfast in case you need to get back on track. Yes! Iris makes the most delicious breakfast. Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. She does, doesn't she? And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in a fitting form. Fitting fit form. That's what it said. Let me see. What case is it today? Here we go again. Ryunosuke is just... Susato! Focus. I imagine if I try to talk to her, it's just like, let's go down for breakfast. So, let's go down to the Shlomes' abode for breakfast. Hello. I'm getting amused by the Misi. If I do this, the Misi looks like it's judging you. Every time I notice that, I get distracted. I did that on accident. Okay. What are people up to? There's Iris. Morning, Bruno. Morning, Susie. What? What is that sound? That... I mean, it's not terrible, but it doesn't sound good either. Good morning, Iris. Iris? What is it, Bruno? What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled. That's not how cats sound like, but I understand what you mean. Ah, yes. You noticed that, didn't you? Hurley isn't in the best form this morning, it seems. Oh. You called? Oh, he's so depressed! Hello. Hello, Mr. Shlomes? Good... Good morning. A good morning to die, perhaps. Has something happened, Mr. Shlomes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before. My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Shlomes. I'm sorry. I know he's sad right now, but he goes from so many highs and lows. I can't help but laugh. He gets those bullet holes in the wall. Oh my gosh. Sorry, easily distracted today. I did try to warn you in the beginning. Damn this blanched existence. That's all this is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and an insipid coffee for me. If it's not too much trouble. He's so sad. Oh, cat? Hello? Cat? It's a cat. Hello, cat. You look like Soseki. Actually, wait. Soseki had a cat in his place. I think that's the cat Soseki had. Or lived with, at the very least. I don't know if it's actually his cat. Is my cat still there? Yes, she is. I better not kick her. I'm going to be so upset with myself if I do. Oh, look. It's Wagahia. Wagaha. Wait, is it Wagaha? Hi? You said Wagahai. I wish I had this written in Japanese. I'd actually be able to tell. I think a little bit. Well, names are usually written in katakana. Oh, not katakana. Kanji. Never mind. I probably couldn't read it. Wagahai or Wagaha? I'm gonna go with hi, even though that might very well be wrong, but it's easier for me to say. Oh look, it's what? I'm really messing up on Ryunosuke's voice. Oh look, it's Wagahai. Good morning, boy. That must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. Cat door. But how did it get there? Kitty! Everything's better with cats. Or a puppy. Kitty, a good kitty or a good puppy. Can't go wrong. Well then, everyone. Time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. What was that? Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. It would indeed be a fine day to die. Shlomes? Shlomes, get help. Ah, I knew something looked different. Something's missing from Mr. Shlome's desk. Gotta talk to one very independent one. Oh gosh, I guess warning, there's going to be a lot of talking about this kind of topic, especially, oh gosh. How to put it? There's gonna be another character showing up that makes... Let's just say, if you can't play Persona 3, you're not gonna like this chapter, but it's only for the beginning here. I don't recall much mentioning later, but... Warning, take care of yourselves. I guess I'll need to attack this one explicitly again. I meant to do that, actually thinking on it, but I forgot because today is a brain empty day. It's hard to think day. Please give me a little bit of leeway today. Ooh boy. Anyway, okay, let's talk to Shlomes. Why are you so depressed? Why do you need like all the hugs today? What in particular is going wrong? You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Shlomes. What happened? What's happened? Yes, there. It used to be the case. In my hands. This violin sung like the dawn chorus. It's, oh god. Melisonate? 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 Oh gosh, this could be very well a French word and oh, jeez. Its melisonant tones would make flowers bloom. It would? But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over. So he's sad because he can't play music well. I suppose that's an apt response. I can't help but laugh though. It's like, ha ha ha. Laugh with the pain. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Shlomes? For hours I have bowed, for days even. Through the night I have endeavored to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. Brilliant, clear, unwavering tone, gone forever. No more recitals of unbridled emotion. He's copying Saseki now. Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley? Don't worry, I'm sure I'll come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddess of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man, the next they unmercifully withdraw it. Oh, dear. Ah! Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what is left for pity's sake? What is left? A lot? And he's back to slouching. Deduction, perhaps? Isn't that what you are known for? You also have Iris, who is functionally your daughter. Give your daughter a hug. It make you feel better for at least a little bit. What about your missing machine? Mr. Shlomes, I don't like to pry, but... your desk looks rather empty today. Ah, well done, Miss Susato. Your observational skills do you credit. Oh, no, Mr. Shlomes. They pale into insignificance when compared to yours. You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you? You mean Hurley's great analytical scope? That's at Windy Banks now. Sorry, it's at a Windy Bank? No, Windy Banks. The pawnbrokery. Pawn? What? You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see. Quite undeservingly. But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you. Dear madame, things are far from desperate. But the pawnbrokery has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate? The use of a pawnbrokery is quite ordinary here in London. I assure you. Is it? It doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem. Neither of you fully understand how pawnbrokering works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? How pawnbrokering works. What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbrokering works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. He's so sad. I forgot how long he's a sad little sop of a man in the beginning of this. Oh, Shlomes. Banks? On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to the pawnbroker of choice. To their pawnbroker of choice. The money they receive in return, they're able to trade happily through the week. And on Saturdays, they go and recover their things using the money they've earned. Would it be earned or earned? I have no idea. Same as Susato, apparently. I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see. Especially people in inner London. And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn. Should the need arise. Oh, how ingenious. So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windy Banks, you see. Pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain? Yes, there are many differences when you go onto the other side of the planet. This just sort of happens. This is why we have the phrase culture shock. Or that's a word. Is it culture and shock? It's a phrase, or is it culture shock one word? I'm not sure. Anyway, we have that as a word / phrase or whatever it may be. Of course! You have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley? Did you do that? What does it even matter? The world is dead to me now. This feels so on point, but I can't help but laugh because he's just... Oh boy. You'll see why I keep kicking. Oh boy. Hi, Iris. Ragahai. Or Ragahai. Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home then. Oh yes! And I've become very attached to little Waggy. It appears his previous owner is completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. The muses empty as the hearts of the muses. I beg to differ. This little one doesn't like it when I leave. If I'm not where she expects for me to be, she will start crying very loudly, trying to find me. And I'm like, I'm over here. And she'll come running. And she'll get very excited that I'm there. She literally uses me in the place I live, and then is very happy to find me. Yes, I need to feel the immense urge to give you pets. Hold on. I have given pets. Okay, moving on. I'm not distracted anymore. Ooh, Iris has the kitty. Oh, that's cute. If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Wagi back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place. I expect he would have taken him if he could. Pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience. And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed. Yes, very much so. Well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable. Meow. Yes, he really is. Oh yes, what about the door? Don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from? Oh, you noticed? You are observant, Runo. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention. And there's Iris's theme song. This suits her to a T. It's very cute and bubbly. And energetic. Iris is very rarely without energy. She is 10. What is that? I call it the cat flap. I call it the cat flap-o-mat. Gosh, a machine for making doors, just for cats. That's right. You can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. And you can do it in a door, in any door at all, no matter what it's made out of. It's very powerful, you see. Wouldn't it have been quicker just to make the cat flap, rather than making a machine to make the cat flap? Well, yes, maybe. But now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like. Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris. She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. She's 10! She's a 10-year-old genius! Ryunosuke has not been around a lot of small children. While being older himself. And Iris is giggling. Yep. Oh! Kitty? Oh, what was that? Wagahai? What in the world just happened? Is the cat okay? What was that? Oh no! Wagahai's tangled up in your violin! I think he thinks it's a toy. No, what is he doing to it? Oh dear, Mr. Shlom's precious violin. Why should I care? What? You shouldn't be surprised. cat is more accomplished musician than I... If the cat is more accomplished musician than I now. Sad man. Mr. Schlomes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives. Shall I, Hurley? Out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. Iris is precious. She very much is. Kitty entangled in the cat gut streaks. Oh no. Would it be cat? Oh wait, no. I need to examine. Here. Ew, that's kind of busted up. So, this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius. One of the finest violins in the world. Made by the renowned Italian luthier, Antonio Stradivari. Stradivari? Oh, I see. It doesn't really look like anything special to me. I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How honorable of you. Not actually cat cup, but it's called... Ah, okay. I've heard of cats being used to make instruments before. For the, well, one instrument, the shimasen in Japan. They use cats. I don't like the thought of that. The person who likes cats quite a bit. I don't like the thought of that. Hello. Stretchies. Okay. And until today, I've been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there a reason to live in a world devoid of music? To tolerate this blanched existence? No! There is none! Mr. Schlomes? What, dear madame, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fantasies of release from this dull routine. Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think? Hmm? Yeah. What do you mean, Miss Susato? Oh, Susie's right. Yes, the tone of the wood is completely different. That's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before. Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this? She's going through her book. I'm terribly sorry to tell you this, Mr. Schlomes, but the instrument isn't a violin at all. Then what? I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola. What? 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 There he goes. Goodbye, Schlomes. That's my favorite animation of Schlomes. I believe I mentioned that. I think he fell over on the boat, but okay. Oh, Mr. Schlomes, you're right. You're quite right. This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of string flotsam? Not your faithful performing partner, then. Ah, I see what must have happened. You do, Iris? The book has notes on everything. How can it be so small? I don't know. I'm almost tempted to say she has more than one book in that sleeve of hers. But it's probably, she might actually have more than one book. It's just, they only have one animation. My cat, it's okay. Petting my cat to comfort her. Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, you're okay. There's a scary sound and we must get told it's okay. Okay. This is just a simple mix-up. It sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her. She's gonna be there. She's standing over here? Yeah, she is. Hi. Mix-up. What do you mean by a mix-up, Iris? Well, you see, this viola, I mean, was at Windy Banks until last week. At the Pawnbrokers? Mr. Shlum's beloved music partner. There's a proverb from the East with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel. Yes, indeed. So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth? Oh, what a wonderful idea. I don't think that's how inanimate objects work of the non-magical variety. Last week, upon my great anti-scope in order to release my precious instrument, it would appear Mr. Windybank mistakenly furnished me with this twirled fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings. Shots fired. Ha! A fine state of affairs this is. And why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time. But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbrokery as an extremely secure vault. Susato is like, what is it? Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Dilly-dally will get you nowhere. Oh wait, dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry? Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect. Pressing your coffee so obtusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced? You must visit Mr. Windybank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Shalom's? Precisely, Miss Susato. Without a moment's delay. She's so pleased with herself. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with increasingly vacant aspect, to press your eggs even more obtusely. Alright, say no more. Let's go then. Don't worry, Bruno. I'll be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I'm rather curious to see what a British pawnbrokers looks like. Are we gonna go? This goof of a man! He's... As much as I love Arianovsky as a character, Shalom's really steals the show. Oh yeah, have we actually looked around on Baker Street? I think it... No, it doesn't. Yeah, there's Baker Street. That's where they live, is in this building. Can't you look up? No. I know there's a higher thing. Like, you can look up higher. There's more to look at there, but I don't think it's gonna let me. But yeah. I think this is actually just Windy Banks right here. If I remember correctly. Yeah. Alright, I'm just going to... Ooh. I just wanted to show Baker Street off because I'm sure people were curious. Alright, let's actually go in the pawnbroker right now. We can investigate Baker Street later. 15th of April, Windy Banks Pawnbrokery. There's a lot of stuff in here. So, this is a British pawnbrokery. Oh my! There are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on before. Ah, Susato-san. That spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this. Oh yes! I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me. My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here. Oh, Mr. Shlomes. We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure. And clearly Mr. Shlomes means business, too, judging from the spark of fury in his eyes. Windy Bank! Hello! Mr. Shlomes, sir! Welcome back! Did you hear that brazen welcome? Well, yes. We are potential customers, after all. We're not disgruntled... We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruhodo. And it's time to inform Mr. Windybank of our ire. Also warning ahead. Come, the fight is afoot! Hi, Windybank. This is the problematic character I was mentioning before. Okay, file in. Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago. Yes? The second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Windybank. The color of the wood is different. It has holes in it. It's not even the same size. A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Shlomes. Windybank? I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An excusable mistake for our pawnbroker. There's only one way to make amends. Off he goes. This is what I was meaning. I shall have to take my own life. Please don't. Shlomes, I think, is a little stunned. I don't think that will be necessary, do you? He's doing, please don't. Let me just say one thing before I pop off. Yes. It was used here, Mr. Shlomes. Took it on himself to remove the item the other day, I believe. Sorry. As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin. Then I heard, here it is. You did. And when I turned to controvert you, I taken the viola and left, sir. This is all your fault, Shlomes. However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly on my own door for allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me. Please don't. Oh no. There he goes. No, stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine. Windybank, please. Okay, there he goes. Hello, sir. Whew. Shlomes, are you okay? You just fell over too. Oh gosh, if I was here, I'd be like pivoting back and forth between the two of them, going, are you okay? Are you okay? Shlomes brings drama on himself, not surprising. Oh, you don't know the half of it? It would appear that the fight is over. I do humbly apologize, Mr. Windybank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy. He's so ashamed of himself. Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Harlock Shlomes without that questionable disposition, now would you? I do believe you may be right, sir. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I need to remind you of all the peculiar collection of items you've brought through my door in the past. Oh, peculiar items? In the extreme, ma'am. For example, the unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Shlomes, or some such. Oh my, a new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I've yet to read, you mean? Windybank, no! Forgive me! Wait, before you die, you must tell me more! Susanto, stop him! Oh, please, Windy Bank. Give me a heart attack every time you do this. I must know more. Tell me everything. Wow, Susato-san is really fired up now. Is there really a published story under this very roof? Well, one day the gentleman here brought an old metal chest, you see. I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Windybank. For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir. A farthing more. It houses something of a great value indeed. The latest manuscript of recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Schlones. I beg your pardon. A manuscript? You wish to posit a manuscript? Oh, Poor Windybank. Windybank might have some, but it is hidden behind the trap. Oh, wait. No brain cells in the vent of this game. Windybank have some, but it is hidden behind the drum. I think Ryunosuke is the only guy in here that has his head on his shoulders, but he's just so inexperienced. He's like, I'm over my head. But yes, the men indeed are quite an eclectic lot, aren't they? Or eccentric? It might be. Oh gosh, I can't remember what eclectic means. That might be more like foreign. I suppose in a sense that's true as well, but whatever. And that was that. As such, Mr. Shlom's latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Mr. Shlom's, is that really true? I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this. Continue to pay your fee, do I not? And kindly continue storing my belongings securely. Of course, sir, of course. Oh my gosh, Windy Bank! They're safe and sound with me. I assure you on my life. This is all very strange. I wish you'd stop. Windy Bank, get help, please. I wonder, could I ask you something? Ah, a gentleman from the east, I see. Yes, that sable? That sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6 pence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. Sorry. Aha! But for your splendid attire, man, 5 guineas, no less. The colors are exquisite, the design exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest, I must say. Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? How interesting! Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here? By that pose, you absolutely have, Ryunosuke. Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you describe. I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure stowage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned. Oop. I can hear Susato fangirling at wait. Okay, I need to move my... Ooh! That's not what I want to do. I need to move the chat a bit so the little heart icon's out of the way. I can hear Susato fangirling all the way over here from the new Shlom's manuscript. She is a big fan, there's no denying that. What happens if they don't pay you the money? And the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me. So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed then? That's right, ma'am, that's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only Nah. Words are hard today. Recompensance. Recompense. Okay. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, only recompense is for me to end it all. Please don't. The very idea of Mr. Windybank is an absurdity. One should never take one's demise so casually. I was about to sass him, but Ryunosuke sassing him, so I'm just gonna read this dialogue. Says the man who was telling us all it was a good day to die only this morning. Ryunosuke is just like, did you snap out of it? Saying the pot calling the kettle black. Recompense? Ah, okay, thank you. Oh gosh. Let us not forget, I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs. Oh, what sort of measures? I engineered a simple device, which Mr. Windybank has installed here in his shop. I call it the red-handed recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Windybank? What was that deep sigh about? Red-handed recorder. What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are two just below the ceiling. I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device. Where? Very astute. It is indeed on a camera, furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop. Here, I have an example I can show you. Ah yes, a print from the camera is set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness. Really? That's extraordinary. Yeah, film. I think colored is about... I don't know about colored photography, but I know film is about like 30-ish years off? I think there actually is some film back in this time that could be colored. I think it was usually hand-colored, because I think it was only slight color. Mostly for it still looked black and white. Anyway. This is basically, I'm just this is not realistic. This is for game stuff, and that we have Sherlock Sholmes. Gotta get the names. Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it. Look. So you see, were someone to enter the premise with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed. But did you not say the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals? Indeed, as you say, my dear madame. Then what if the incident were to occur in between times? One could only say that'd be a cruel twist of fate. I must confess, your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late. Beg your pardon, Mr. Windybank. Truly they're anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word. It's the cost of films, sir. You most graciously placed not only one, but 2 cameras in my shop after all. Which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of film would break me before I'm very much older. Well Nonetheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery, no? My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security comes at a price. Oh, heaven help us. Oh dear, poor Windy Bank. Now then, Mr. Shlums, allow me to return your precious violin. Ah, the very thing! Thank you, Mr. Windybank! Perhaps this moment might mark the end of the peculiar items you will try to pop. Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer! I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt. Fear not! Sorry? I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly harm. Please don't, Windybank. That's not really what I meant. Ryunosuke's more concerned, as am I. Good day to you then, Mr. Windybank. It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, Windybank. Bless this man's heart, but oh boy. So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last. Windybank, you okay? Oh no, I was just gonna go to that. All right. There's a door back there. There seems to be a little door hidden behind that curtain there. It leads to the storage room. Mr. Windybank keeps articles that are currently in pawn. Ah, I see. There's nothing of particular interest inside. I certainly wouldn't recommend any lascivious activity. Recommend or not, it's not something I tend to do. There's but one key. Mr. Windybank keeps it in his pocket at all times. Before he sleeps, he places it into a small pot, which he slides under his pillow. How on earth do you know about that, Mr. Shlomes? I'm a detective, sir. It's my business to know what others do not. I'm frequently assailed by information that I neither care for nor wish to retain. Mr. Shlomes, you are a wonder. And the prime suspect of this pawnbrokery is ever burgled. Oh, jeez, Ryunosuke is like, if this place gets robbed, I'm looking at Mr. I'm looking at Herlock. Okay. What's here? Look at that enormous ledger open on the counter there. Mr. Windybank is, if nothing else, very particular about recording the items he accepts. He'd have to be, otherwise he'd get himself into all sorts of trouble. Which might explain the thing that catches my eye far more than the ledger. This revolver here. Do not entertain even a single thought of pilfering an article herein, my dear fellow. I assure you, Mr. Windybank would not hesitate to draw that weapon with a speed belying his portly size. Oh, you don't mean he'd blow his brains out, indeed, in recompense for his blunder. I think that's funny. Oh my. But in any case, of course we would never do such a thing. How could you even suggest it? Susato was disappointed in you, Shlomes. Oh. No, that's Windybank. I need to move over for a second, make sure I'm not missing anything behind here. Nope. Just Windybank. There's shovels here. I guess. Under the wall clocks. Is that a giant music box? What? Oh, this? I think so. Look at this! What could this lovely big shiny box be? That, my dear madame, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country. Oh my, yes. I've certainly never seen one so large before. Shall we listen a while? Plinky, plinky, plink, 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 plink. Ah, what a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels. I've never heard anything like it before in my life. This particular specimen is of the larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There's a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played, as long as it fits on the disc. My goodness! What a simply delightful machine. Indeed. Though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course. Ah, science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace. Oh yeah, they do. Computers definitely made things go quicker. Have I explored this side of the area now? I think so. Go over here, yeah. All the articles here. What an assortment of what an assortment of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine. Those are forfeited items offered for sale by the pawnbroker. What does that really mean, though? When you pawn, or colloquially, pop an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he is free to display it in his shop for sale, at a price of his choosing. Oh, yes. Now that you explained it, I'm noticing little price tags on everything. Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow. My treasured university uniform? Never. It embodies my student spirit. Okay, absolutely not. Can I look up the things up here? No. What here? What is this? Oh wait, I know what this is. Now, what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does? I need a drink break. It's been an hour. I need a drink. Ah. Okay, much better. Just put this down. How's Cat doing? Cat is... Update on Cat. Cat is doing fine. Moving on. It seems to have two little windows for looking through. Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you're looking at is a stereoscope. A stereo... It's fascinating. It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself. Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me a moment while I just have a look. Before you do, there is something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically, as it were, you need to be cross-eyed. Well, Leona has like phantom drink. That's not how that works, but yes. I really should have it, so instead of just, I don't know, holding my teacup out of this, which you can't see because I'm usually over here. Mostly because, well, it's like a lot of games have the button key over to that side, or else I'd be on the right side. Like, I did start off that way, but over here on the left side is more there. It was better. Hi, am I moving? I feel like my kitty put a paw on my ankle. It's like, hello there. You look like you're drinking and I see no drink. I should have a better drink thing. Drink pose? Oh, I don't know what to call it. Anyway. However, if that's beyond you, it is little consequence today. Alright then, I'm going to try it. This is so silly. Oh. Ah! Mr. Naruhodo, you must see! At once! Dear. Alright then. So, I need to be cross-eyed. Like I'm trying to look at my own nose. Yes, and it's very hard to do. I don't know how people manage to go cross-eyed and kind of know what's in front of them. I feel like you have to stuff your face really close to the screen to be able to see this properly. What the? I don't believe it. I think you can get a similar effect to what is going on here, but if you take two images, the two stereoscopic images, and layer them on top of each other and flip through them back and forth, I think they're going to actually explain it in game, so I'll see if they will before I try to explain it. It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. They are often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them. Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic? It's not black magic, it's just optical illusions. It is no magic, my dear madame. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save this lesson for another day. Okay. Alright, I'll explain it. Alright, let's see. Functionally what's going on is that the two images are slightly different from one another. I mean, in modern times, you can think of it as two frames. So, you know how you can hit, like, if you're on a PC watching YouTube, you can use the little left-right arrow buttons that have the comma and period on them to flip through the frames of a video. It's like doing that between two frames that actually switch, so it gives the illusion of depth if you do it correctly. So again, it's an optical illusion. Functionally, it's just flipping between two images. That's why if you layer the two photos together on top of one another, like full of opacity, and just flip one and off from view in like an editing program, or just, I think even if you had the two stereoscopic, because it does have to be a slight difference, and just flip back and forth between the two, just any means, you will get a similar result. It'll kind of just, I think we have technology nowadays that you can set up images where it takes a flat image and can make it kind of look 3D. Or if you've seen those, they're always like bumpy, kind of make a vert sound when you run your fingernail over it, and they kind of look 3D-ish. I mean, that's not the same thing as what exactly is going here on, but it has a similar outcome. It's just like a little 3D thing. We've seen better because people figured out better optical illusions, but that's functionally what's going on. It's, in quotes, 3D. But it's just an optical illusion. That's not the best explanation, but that's the explanation of what, like, what it looks like going on. I don't think I could explain the exact, like, why I don't think I remember clear enough to explain what is, like, how your eyes are incorrectly seeing the things. But it's just how your eyes work makes you think it's 3D. Okay, moving on. Oop. I dropped my controller. But yeah, it's... can I even remember anything to explain it? Because I know it will explain it later. I just don't think we're getting to that part in this stream. But yeah, I wonder if they're going to explain any of it. Nope, not a lick. Okay. Yeah, it is kind of a trick of the eye that they're really similar. I wish I had some way of switching, doing it, but yeah. Yeah, it's also stereoscopic images are also kind of fun, because then it's also a spot the difference. Because they are two very similar, just slightly adjusted, images. So if you ever played Spot the Difference book, or Spot the Difference book, like it had a book of play Spot the Difference, you know. I want to say I Spy, but that's not the same thing. That's more of a Where's Waldo kind of thing, but okay. I really can't remember clear enough how to explain what is functionally going on. Like, what are your eyes and brain doing to make this work? But yeah, it's optical illusion makes it look 3D. Moving on. Dwelled on this too much because I'm trying very hard to remember how this works. And I'm not doing a good job. What is this? I know there's a calendar there. 3 globes of gold. Is that some sort of charm? Dear me, have you not seen that sign before? No, never. 3 golden balls are, in Great Britain at least, the universal sign of a pawnbrokery. There are more than 700 such establishments in the capital, all showing the same sign. Like a barber shop sign? The swirly thing? Not that I remember what it's called. Oh, I see. I had not imagined your ignorance was so profound. Oh, well, what is the significance of the 3 golden balls then? Does it have some special meaning? He doesn't know either, does he? That is entirely unimportant here, my dear madame. Irrelevant, even. You mean you don't know? Oh yeah, there's that. I'm gonna look at the calendar first. April 15th. That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April. That's... 15th April. Today's date. Yes. Not for sale, I must point out. It's an Eastern-style Page Day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. A perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Windybank. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? I love how Ryunosuke's not letting this go. Oh, you give him shite, Ryunosuke. You give him shite. Well, the agreed storage period has passed without repayment. Our articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep a close eye on the date. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say. Oh yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job. No kidding. See, is there anything else besides the little thing here? Did I miss anything? Okay, well, it doesn't look like I have. Look at this! Whatever it could be used for. I have no idea. Ah! There's a small catch just here, look! We're going to open it, aren't we? There it goes. Oh my! That's amazing! It has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism. Which we'll never manage to put back to the way it was before. Oh, don't I feel that? What are you two doing? What? Us? Nothing! No, nothing at all. Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. Yeah, it's another stereoscopic. It's a handheld stereoscopic device. I feel as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. Oh. Okay. What? Only a tuppence for it. That ain't fair, and you know it. The article's barely worth a penny, miss. I can't offer more. Oh dear. Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter. Come on, that can't be right. Have you had a proper butcher at it? I've seen all I need to see, young girl. Gina! Miss Lestrade! If I remember how her last name is said. Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her. Oh, yes! But it's the young lady from Mr. McGilded's trial 2 months ago. Gina! Her name's Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer. Runs her across among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. It's commonly called a pickpocket. Jeez. She got the grenade launcher. More of the paint launcher. Smoke screen launcher? Smoke grenade launcher? Yeah, there we go. Smoke grenade launcher. Gordon Bennett, you lot! Oh, there she goes. Susato gives a polite bow and there's Gina here, ready to fire. Oh boy. Hello, Mistress Lestrade. I hope you've been well. Eh? What? You remember me, do ya? And I remember being completely surrounded by smoke. That's for sure. Ryunosuke's not one to let things go, I see. Understandable. So, what are you doing in here? Running out like the rest of us. Nothing to eat. Come to pop that black weasel. Sorry, coat. Have you? Have ya? Yeah. What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone commenting on it? Ah, good day. Unless I'm much mistaken. You'd be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ah, Mr. Sloanes. So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article, and I shall negotiate with Mr. Windybank on your behalf. Pull the other one. I don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Get on with my business. Go on, or I'll make trouble for ya. As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I'll happily remove myself from your presence. Oh, I just remember what's coming off. Sherlock's my favorite. He's really done it. He's gone. You tell Shlomes to shove off, he usually does. I know, shocking. Sorry, but as I said, there's really no room for negotiation here. What is that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of metal disc. Like the music box? I'm looking at right in the background there. And you, go on, leave me alone. Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we aren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest. You're not gonna win against Susato, Gina. Susato-san can really stand her ground when she wants to. She sure can. Whatever. Hi, Gina. Pawnbroker's customer. Somehow, I didn't really think you were the sort of person who'd use a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade. Yeah, well, I am, alright. I'm a Londoner, just like everyone else. Not a problem, is it? No, not at all. It's just that, well... Oh, I get it. You know, I know what you're thinking. That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got it on the dive, didn't she? Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy... Wait, is that Chevy or Czech? I should know how to pronounce this word, but I don't remember. Yeah, and I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase. Well, I might have been thinking something along those lines. You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo. Alright then, I'm just gonna come out and ask you straight. You pawn things that you steal from other people. Well, I don't know best to answer that, really. Suppose sometimes. You're not gonna deny it either, Miss Lestrade. Well, they're honest, that's for sure, the two of them. Not this time, alright? I swear. The thing belongs to me. That Mr. Windybank is holding. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about all this. Okay. Examine? Windybank? Yep, there he is. Hi! Oop, I almost... Miss Lestrade's disc. Mr. Windybank, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade has brought in? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface. Ah, this is a music disc, you see? For use inside a music box. In a music box? What? You don't even know what a music box is? You Eastern lot ain't too savvy, eh? I know what a music box is. Just never seen one of these discs before. The small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going, and beautiful music plays. It's so incredible! Tell us, what tune is on this disc? Oh, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There are so many different types of music box, you see. British made, German, Swiss. I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for. Couldn't you just try? You listed out like 3. I mean, surely as a pawnbroker, if you got these common enough, wouldn't you try to figure out what they're from? Oh, jeez. I mean, you can measure the diameter. Ah, I see. That's it in a nutshell. I don't have any customers for an item like this, even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny. That's a pack of lies. You told me you did. He said it was, well... He? Who? Never you mind. It just ain't right, that's all. That disc is worth good money, I know it is. Well then, you'll have to try your luck at another pawnbroker's, won't you? Gina Lestrade. She's been here before, of course, this little tattered Demoline? Tattered Demolion. Right now, Tattered Demolion. Tattered Demolion? It's been here before, of course, this little Tattered Demolion. I see. And brought some dubious articles or other with her every single time, I might add. Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me. Oh, is there something dubious about the disc she brought in today? Well, if it were only that simple. Sorry, what do you mean? What she actually brought in was a storage ticket. Ah, a storage ticket. So... Miss Lestrade has actually come to redeem an article from you today, is that right? Yeah, that's right. A girl like me has a lot of stuff what needs storing. Right? Yes, that's definitely dubious. The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight. As she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and interest, I was obligated to return the article to her. Oh, what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windybank. Little scamp is wearing it, ma'am. It's the overcoat she redeemed. Oh. What? What's with that? It fit, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So what about the disc then? How does that come into all this? Ah, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn if the girl and I can agree a price. A new article to pawn. I'm confused. I thought you said Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today. It really is quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket and the money owed on it, as you say. For this heavy black coat, which you returned to her care, as I understood it. That's right, yes. And rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets. Oh, you mean... Look down. What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady? Ah, I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it? You mean this disc? Then yes, exactly, ma'am. And she immediately tried to pawn it. For quite a high price as well. This is all rather suspicious, I think. Give it up. I'm just trying to pawn something, like anyone else would. Miss Lestrade, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? Well, me... It doesn't appear to be your size. Me old man. It's me old man's, ain't it? Is it, Miss Lestrade? Yes, this is definitely all rather suspicious. Out of my way, please. Hello, you. Who's this picture perfect? Wait. Who's this picture postcard English gentleman? I have seen 5 seconds of the man and I already hate him. Good day to you, ladies, gentlemen. What's your problem, eh? There is no problem, as long as you remove yourself. I've a matter to discuss with the proprietor. Yep. And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve. Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. If you think you're such a gent, you should know how to wait in line. Well, you are an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well as a pickpocket. Eh? Who are you? How'd you know who I am? Question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy even to remember the faces of your victims, it seems. What? You mean from you? Broker? Yes, sir. Believe this filthy pocket thief just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes, the article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Oh my. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel. And needless to say... And a music box disc, too. No, you can't have it. You just can't. It's the old man's, or was. Now it's mine. Goodness, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a very awkward situation. Yes. Perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. Time to talk to Gina. The gentleman's accusation. Miss Lestrade? Is what the gentleman is saying... What do you think? It's all lies, ain't it? Obviously. Swear on my life. I ain't never laid eyes on that dandy before. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? A ticket you brought in here just now. No, I swear it. Swear to God. It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street, minding my own business. And this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself. Those wretched pickpockets. Yet again. Oh yes, as you can see, I'm a man of impeccable style. This isn't the first time I've been targeted by these black slum scoundrels. Seriously, can I just smack him? I don't like this guy. Now then, relinquish my overcoat. Ugh. Come along, Miss Lestrade. The good gentleman his coat back. If you're going to cause trouble, I shall have no choice but to call the police. Hold on! Why does everyone think it's me? Just look at this dandy cove. And you think I'm the dodgy one? I'm sorry, but no one's gonna believe you. I believe her. Well, what about evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence I've stolen something, eh? Come on, let's see it. Oh, I have evidence, naturally. You what? That is quite the surprise look. Evidence that the article Miss Lestrade redeemed actually belongs to this gentleman. Of course! We need only consult Mr. Windybank's ledger to know the truth. He gives to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place. Yes, brilliant. I'm very sorry. I'm afraid that won't be possible. Oh! I never ask customers' names. That's a strict policy of mine. But why not? Well now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have circumstances to consider. A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity. Today is hard to speak. It's anonymous. For crying out loud. Their anonymity? Anonymity? What was that? Oh, that was not the cat. Very many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity. Yes, I see. But then how can you know if an article belongs to the person asking to redeem it? Oh, it's quite simple. Good sir, might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question? Of course, it's... And he's got a pose. Professor. Yes, that's right. And all the evidence we need. This gentleman is the rightful owner of the article, without doubt. A watchword? Interesting. Watchwords. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Windybank. I just explained. Never ask customers' names when they deposit items with me. There are many reasons why. Certain customers would like to keep their activities a secret. Hi, Shlomes. What are you doing? Why is every time, like, I'd say 9 times out of 10, we cut away to this man, and it's immediately the first thing upon one's lips is, what are you doing? Something to that effect. He's just staring at the box. Are you holding something? Okay. That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Shlomes now, was it? Great detectives have no dark secrets. None at all. Yes, well, anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. the date of deposit, a description, and a watchword uniquely identify each item. And of course, then I give the storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. And if that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article? That's right, sir. Yes. Just as soon as the requisite fee is paid. And I have supplied you with the information you require already. But for the avoidance of doubt, the article in question is an overcoat, deposited 2 months ago on 15th of February. With a watchword of Professor. All perfectly correct information, sir. But how? Really, this is beyond a joke now. There's no further room for doubt. Ah. Okay, hi, Mr. Fancy Pants. What's your postcard, gentlemen? Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the inquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly you're not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry, yes, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh yes, Japan. I've heard talk of the place. Please stop moving. Every time you move, I want to punch you. Pretentious jerk. The inhabitants live on some fiery, brown-colored soup, dressed up with exotic spices. You might be thinking of somewhere else. What was that theatrical distillation about? I don't know, but I hate every time he does it. He just seems like a jerk, written all over him. Perhaps. Anyway, if you are a gentleman, sir, you will offer your own name first, before inquiring after the name of another. Of course, yes. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer. Well, a student of law, really. My name is Susato Mikotoba. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's assistant. I see. My name is Benedict. Yes, Eggert Benedict. That is not a real name. Eggs Benedict is well, it's a breakfast dish. Enchanté. He's so refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks. But that name is suspicious. You think? Though it is an Ace Attorney game. If he had more of an egg theme on him, it'd just be a normal name. Now, to the matter at hand. Please stop moving. I really don't like how this man moves around. It's not poorly animated. He's just so weird about it. It makes me feel like... You ever seen a cat when it's spooked at something? Same feeling right now. My overcoat. Return it at once. To someone with the style to carry it off. Every move he makes, every breath he takes, can't stand watching him. Same. I like Gina. I agree with Gina. So it looks like she's listening to you. So, let that be then to the matter. And thank you for your custom. Hey? And thank you for your custom, Mr. Eggert Benedict, sir. Such reasonable rates of interest. And even decide to come back. Poor Gina. This is why I hate grown-ups. Just because I'm a diver, everyone thinks That makes me a liar. And the contents of the coat pockets, if you please, broker. Of course, sir. Here's the disc for you. Just this one. Pardon, sir? I was expecting another. That is, I deposited another. Another disc? Oh, oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, that what was deposited with me was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now. So, Gutterling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you? Says ooh, eh? I don't know nothing about it. Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute, that disc is mine. Oh. Ah, what do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Oh my, yes, there's blood on the disc. It's because of all those sharp little bumps. The man must have scratched his finger on them. I'll grow up. I found it first, alright? I mean, it belongs to me, old man. So you're not having it. Or you take it. Me? If I hang on to it, they'll have it off me again. So you keep hold of it. Miss Lestrade, is this disc so important to her? The metal disc used to play music in a mechanical music box. The piece of music, which remains unidentified, is stored on the disc by means of small protrusions. It is now in the court record. You there, in the black livery. Hand that disc to me at once, please. No, don't. He's lying. Grown-ups are all liars. What do I do now? How am I going to resolve this? If I remember correctly. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I did not want to do this. Shlomes. Mr. Shlomes? What are you examining with such keen interest there? You enjoying a bar as you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see. Nope, he's sad again. So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? After that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was first forced to lurk in the shadows, cruelly ostracized, as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of the fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. He's so dramatic. This man is a national treasure. So feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Whilst, as you shrewdly observe, gnawing on the only friend I have left, the 7% solution of caramel. Caramel. What is... Why is words so hard today? Pray, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruhodo? How could you? I was so lonely, so desperately lonely. Never leave... If you wish to have a Herlock Shlomes, let it be known you never leave the man alone. They get lonely. And why on earth didn't you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Yes, I overheard as much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. You really were sad, weren't you? Yes, he's easily gotten lonely. I think I've mentioned this before. This incident is why. He keeps it pretty consistently that Sherlock Shlomes here, Mr. World-round detective who gets easily depressed, is a very lonely man that gets feels very snubbed if one sends him away. The poor guy. Someone give him a pat on the back or something. He might cheer up a little. Poor Mr. Shlomes. I feel simply awful for you. It would seem that my inferences are correct. Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again. Oh, here we go. My dear madame, sometimes I wonder, were my genius for deduction to be commiserate, crying out loud. Really, today, I cannot speak. Commoditized. There we go. Were my genius for deduction to be commoditized? How much could I pawn it for? A lot. I'm going for a lot. It seems Mr. Shlomes has another of his flashes of inspiration. But who knows if it'll help to resolve the situation between Miss Lestrade and the mysterious gentleman. It's the right thing to do here. Let him go! let the let the Shlomes be a Shlomes. Well, Miss Lestrade, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament. What blue blazes have you been, eh? Arden? When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help. Straight away, not an hour later. Harsh. And there he went. And who, pray tell, are you? Mr. Egbert Benedict. You have, in my eyes, a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Nonetheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon. The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. Ooh, right on the money. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, one you will orchestrate with the intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions? How? You turned white as a hard-boiled egg. It would seem that once again, Mr. Shlomes has made a flawless deduction. Now let's see how flawless his reasoning to get there is. Just who do you think you are, sir? Ah yes, as I hoped. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. Shlomes is being a meanie. So, shall we begin? The time has come from yet another Herlock Shlomes logic and reasoning spectacular. Gotta do the pose. Great deduction. The game is afoot. Mystery man's aim. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. And even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no need of such employ. In other words, there's some interior motive for your actions. Just threw it away. The cane which you unwittingly clutch to your person exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. What utter rot. I've had this cane for years. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. The end of any walking cane should be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. And yet, detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of the stick to be utterly bare. I don't think you need your fancy goggles to see that, Shlomes, but you do you. Therefore, there's only one conclusion. The rod which you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle you see. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking cane demands such a stout handle, mused I. No one knows what he's going with this. But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod... it's the broken handle of a shovel. What? You insane. And now, having to demonstrate this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premise. What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. I just realized how much secondhand embarrassment I'm going to get for one of these other future deductions. I can't. To tunnel underneath the Pawnbroker. This is complete. I should probably move a tiny bit here. Here we go. It's probably a bit better to see things. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel. What on earth do you propose I could expect to find there? Again, please stop moving. Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose. It moves like a sea anemone. Save for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but there is ample reason. As you are all too aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. This letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewage works, beneath the shop runs a sewer that adjoins another one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? Now he's upset. By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway that flows in the very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite. What are you... In summary, sir, you devise a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. Master plan? Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, the picture postcard tells us all we need to know. Postcard of the Great Exhibition. I'm afraid you've quite lost me. Currently, in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway. The government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank, on the other side of this road. Pardon. Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating is the theft of that which sits at the vault of the bank, the special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. Sloams. The scale of the Great Exhibition's reserve funds. I didn't trip up on my words too badly there, but I still did. Thus concludes Herlock Shlom's great deduction of this pawnbrokering puzzle. You had fun there, didn't you? Oh boy. Mr. Shloms. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? An impressively upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness, would you not agree? He just wants to play. Oh boy. Is it true what you said about the bank over the road and what it has in its vault? Indeed. Although few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. Gregson told me, in the strictest confidence. But you just announced it to everyone here. Rather loudly, in fact. Ah. And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it? There can only be one explanation for that. Clearly, it is because the man is a criminal. But what if he doesn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as you say, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does, now that you've revealed the secret. Oh. Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Windybank will. He already has plenty of shovels here, after all. In my life, I assure you I'm not so unscrupulous. Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost of care. Jeez. One can never be sure that someone privy to secrets won't disclose them. And once the word is out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Shloms. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo. An excellent idea. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure. Yes, let's listen to that great deduction again and see if we can massage it into shape. Let's go! I love little Susato's little fist bump into the air. Very well then, let us start once more from the beginning. Herlock Shlom's magnificent logic and reasoning spectacular. He's gonna have fun. Ryunosuke! Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Shloms. Oop, sorry, I disturbed you. PT has been disturbed. Okay. Let's skip through this until the part that is of interest. Oh, what matters to Pawnbroker in the first place. Right, I need a move. So, by Mr. Shalom's reasoning, Sir Benedict came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig down through the floor. Yes, in an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he? No, I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. The question is, where? What did bring Mr. Bennett... Words are hard today. What did bring Mr. Benedict here at this particular point in time? I don't know. Face. His face brought him here. Oh, hey, you can see the cameras. There's the camera. There's another camera. I'm getting distracted by the background. Forget this guy. I want to see the back of the pawnbroker. There's like nothing over here. I like how everything's just over here and there's just emptiness over here. What is that on the table though? Oh, it's the little handheld Sarasu. Okay, let's actually do... There's writing on the back of that. Look at that. Is that a picture of Gina? Oh, look at all the scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here. I don't believe it. What is it? Listen to what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade. Height, 5'2". Green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, loose satchel, ragged. The detailed description of Miss Lestrade. Goodness! There's even a sketch of her, hat and all. Although, if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure. I hope she does. And look, the details of the shop have been written down here too. Windy Bank's Pawnbrokery, Baker Street, redemption deadline 15th April. Which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper? Scribbled writing. Info about Miss Lestrade. And now we present.
Take that!
And now I need to scooch over. There's gonna be a lot of this. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place? Is the info about Miss Lestrade. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch on the reverse of the flyer pertain to the pickpocket Miss Lestrade, and to Mr. Windybank's pawnbrokery here. Ah. You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you. But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. Gina's about to launch that grenade launcher. It is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today. By which I mean... here to Windybank's pawnbrokery, and today, the redemption deadline of that overcoat. So, you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. And you have gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit of Miss Lestrade. In other words, there's some material motive for your actions. Okay, I think this is back to... yeah. This is back to what I've seen before. And I need to move over again. What's a furrow? Is the metal cap commonly found on the end of a cane, Mr. Naruhodo? Ah, the bit that makes the nice clacking sound on the pavement. I know, it does make a nice sound. Yes, exactly. And Mr. Sholmes is right. It appears to be missing on this cane. But it doesn't actually look broken, does it? No, it doesn't. The gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as suspicious. In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. Would rather we don't know. I'm guessing it's the initialing, as the cane puts it. Look here, Miss Susato. There's some letters on the handle. He's just staring there menacingly. Oh, jeez. Ah, yes, those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the finest letters of their names. Yeah, called them monograms. Q. So, Herlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean? That's right. I just realized HS can also be abbreviation of high school. And that's amusing me right now. I get the feeling Schlems would be a very divisive teacher. You either love him or you hate him. And the initials on this cane, obviously. Oh. A-G. I feel as though that's not quite right, because it doesn't... That's not how you do. It should be E... What, EB?
Take that!
The contradiction... Are you okay? They're okay. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initialing. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Egbert Benedict? We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are EB. Yet in a most possessive manner, you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials AG. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed, would you not agree? No, you're wrong. The cane isn't... You said before you've had that cane for years. So don't try to tell us that you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park. In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name. And we're back to what was... Let's skip ahead until we get to the new stuff. Skip to the loo. Okay. Let's consider the bare bones of what's happened here. Miss Lestrade redeemed that fine-looking overcoat, and now a mysterious man had appeared. Now a mysterious man has appeared, introducing himself with a fake name, and claiming the overcoat belongs to him. But we know that he actually identified Miss Lestrade from a written description, which suggests that everything else he's told us is untrue. So what we need to do here is somehow prove the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him. Think. Oop. Let's see. I think I can just present this.
Take that!
Yes, I can. Save some time. The split seam, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. It's kind of obvious there was some seam ripped, because I recognize that sound. I don't know if everyone would recognize that as cloth tearing, but I certainly have heard that well enough. Ah. Yes, because the overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. When you so badly... Wait, boldly? Boldly? When you so boldly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket. Ah. This catalog of untruths has all been for one very specific purpose. Purpose. Beltons. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Windybank. Got it in one. Or two, as it were. But what really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed Slums wanted a more elaborate hoax or crime. He wants grandiose. I think, will it change? I know some of these change. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. Okay. Elaborate crime, infinite planning. Okay, no, this is still the same. Reading the article in the watchword. The watchword can be... Oh no, wait, this is new. Sorry, let me... Okay. Wait. That's the same. Well, I think what Benedict is saying is different. This is utterly absurd. Consider that I, a gentleman design, a wheeze to fetch some 20 article of pawnage. Have you forgotten that I redeemed the article in proper manner using the watchword? Had I not been the one to deposit it in the first place, how could I possibly have known the relevant details? Nens pass. Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you're only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, now your figurative glance is more telling than I could have hoped. Okay, I think it's back to being the same. Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawn property of another. The method is revealed by the concept. That doesn't even make sense, but it's the same. That's what's been said. There's just pointing out the council notice, but that's clearly wrong. The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think. Yes, we're talking of tunneling into the sewers. It's a pity, because it all sounded rather exciting. Ryunosuke's here for a good story. Also, why do all the men in this story have very well-defined, like, pictorials and whatever they are wearing? I'm just noticing Ryunosuke. Shlomes is like that. Like, Strongheart's like that. Apparently, if you're in any kind of the law and you need to look good. It's like, why are so many of you wearing tight-fitting clothing? I'm just sitting here confused, befuddled, bafflement. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman didn't know the watchword. Yes, Professor. If you didn't know the word, Mr. Windybank would never allow you to redeem the article. Or looking at it another way, if you did know the word, Mr. Windybank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. The question is, does this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow? Notelet? What's it say? Look at this, Miss Susato. Ah, it appears to be a memo that Mr. Windybank has scribbled to himself. Let's see, what does it say? Oh, Professor. They're both quiet. Mr. Windybank must make note of the watchwords his customers give him, right before their eyes. And in alarmingly clear script as well. Oh dear, I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see? Okay, so the notelet. Oh my gosh, can I actually get on the notelet again? Thank you.
Take that!
Sometimes it's hard to scroll over. The method is revealed by the notelet on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whether a customer comes to redeem an article. Whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for the watchword and notes it down. The response uttered on... He writes down the response uttered on a notelet he has to hand. Enunciation. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question. I would expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker. But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about? It is increasingly apparent that you were present in this shop before you accuse... Oh wait, that you're present in this shop before your accusation against Miss Lestrade. In all likelihood, you followed her inside, and then observed her talking to Mr. Windybank. When the diligent broker made note of the watchword, as it is his common practice, you observed him writing the word professor on the notelet beside the ledger. And that, sir, was the master plan you devised to steal the pawned article from the young Miss Lestrade. Master plan? Okay, which brings us to... Okay, this is the same. Gotta be a bit careful. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? For an ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music disc. But naturally, you had very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see... Oh, yeah, this is different. Let me scooch over again. Articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets, which according to Mr. Windybank isn't even worth a penny. And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why? I wonder if perhaps we already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruhodo. Would we? Really? We'd better have a thorough look through all the evidence we've collected so far. Oh, we just have the disc. Oh. From Mr. McGilded. Oh, there's a little scrap of paper stuck to the reverse side of the disc. Look. And a scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. For McGilded. McGilded? Couldn't possibly be. How was Susato going to point out the error of Shlom's nickname with Ryunosuke's help, of course? But it is, Mr. Naruhodo. A name I shall never forget, for as long as I live. But why? Why is his name on this? We're not over with the first case. The McGilded case is coming back to relevance. There's the ooches. Oh wait, I can present this.
Take that!
Yes, I can present this right away. You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know. What's that on the back? It reads, "For McGilded." Ah! I wonder what music the disc will play. Well, we're probably going to find out, given that it's in the court record. Ah, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Unfortunate financial... Words are hard to... really are hard today. Unfortunate... Philanthropist. I cannot... words really are hard today, and I'm upset with myself. The unfortunate philanthropist who perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, though his loan-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. So, you're an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGilded was a man of unusually small stature, in fact. He was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you've squeezed yourself into. Ugh. True identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Eggert Benedict. The final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus McGilded. Ah! Get wrecked, fancy pants! Acquire an item deposited by Mr. McGilded. Da-da-da! Deduction complete. Elementary. Elementary. Again, words really are hard today. Well, 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 Mr. Magnus McGilded. What a name I expected to hear in these circumstances. Mr. Sloanes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind. Right tell, Miss Susato. Well, according to what Mr. Windybank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the coat could have been redeemed, was it not? Yes, ma'am. That is correct. Today would be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. But today is April 15th. Well, 15th April. So, 2 months ago today. I keep reading it how I'm used to reading the dates. Would have been 15th February, sir. That's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Deposited at 10:30 p.m., I see. What? But that's just... Yes, 15th February. It's precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place. At 10:30 in the evening. It's precisely the time in which the terrible events were unfolding. Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence. You are, of course, at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose. However... Oh my gosh, he has a gun. I must insist you hand over the music box disc now. It'd be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box. Ah, what do I do? No? There are some things a man must protect at all costs. It may well be one of those things. And again, it may not. Oh. Mr. Windybank! In my shop, I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I would have to take my own life. Mr. Windybank, no! Alright, that's enough. Gregson! Inspector Gregson! Inspector. That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. We got here as fast as we could. Now what is this about, eh? Oh, praise be. You're here at last. I was months away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment. Also, there's this guy. Can you please lower the firearm? Thank you, you absolute jack-a-monkey. It would seem you have the upper hand. You think? Jerk. Away with you. Right. Right, you lot have some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-bargy. Petty? Mr. Windybank, very nearly met with his end. Yeah, by his own gun, as far as I can tell. Oh dear. The whole of Britain could meet with its end if I don't get to the bottom of the case I'm supposed to be working on. What? What on earth is the case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Gregson. I might have said a little too much. No matter. Something to do with you lot. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. But of course, Inspector. Oh my gosh. Ah! He's getting away! After him, lads! Whistle the beat officer, too! Sir! Oh, jeez. And he's gone. Okay. Ugh. I think I'm gonna end it here. I think it's about to be continued, but it's also nearly half an hour over, so I think there's another 5 to 10 more minutes before it stops anyway, but I need to call it here. I'm tripping up over the words anyway. Hopefully Friday, about what? About 4 days from now, we'll pick up where we left off. Oh, I just realized I should probably give me what happened last time. Pause menu. I'm just like, hold on. I should probably put it in the menus, or else it's going to not. Alright. But yeah, start of 5. Okay. I think... Let's see. I might be able to get to the trial part next stream. So that'll be exciting, but obviously something's gonna go down in the pawnbrokery. And it involves music disc. This one is an interesting one. It is definitely, oh, I'm not sure if grand finale is the right word for it, given that it's not really... it's the last case of the adventure side of yeah, because Great Ace Attorney Chronicles was made up of 2 games. This is the end of the first. There we go. Words are easier a bit when I think about it. Jeez, today's been a day. Sorry about all the stuttering and whatnot. But there's just some days where it's just harder for me to talk, evidently. But yeah, hopefully next time we'll be getting into trial bit and some investigation, so we can start getting into, as they say, the meat and potatoes of this episode. Like, what in the world is going to go what is going on? Also, it's probably a good way to end, because I just realized I think the to be continued ends on a worse hit cliffhanger than I have here, so it's probably good that I ended it a little prematurely. Less of a cliffhanger. You're welcome. Anyway, I really will end it here. So to anyone who came, to any of my nieces that came by, thank you very much for coming. And to anyone else who happened to just meandered here or just pop on in. Maybe I shouldn't use that word in the context. Oh dear. Thank you for coming and watching, whether it be live or on the VOD. I very much appreciate it. If you did like the video, I would appreciate likes too. You don't have to, but I appreciate it very much so. But yeah, you can leave any comments if you have something to say. I do read them. And subscribe if you want to see, you know, more. I will be trucking through the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles as I can and will. Though I think tomorrow, well, I'm going to be doing a Valentine's Day, because 2 days from now is Valentine's Day on, for live recording. And again, if words are hard today, I'm sorry. Tradition for an Ace Attorney playthrough on the channel. Cliffhanger. There always is. I'm sorry. I just don't stream for very long, so we end up with lots of cliffhangers. It just is what it is. Yeah. Hopefully it's not too maddening. I guess if worst comes to worst, there are plenty of other people. Well, maybe not plenty, but there are other people who have a playthrough up on the Great Ace Attorney, so if you really need to know, there are definitely other ways of knowing. Or you can just buy the game yourself. I'm pretty sure it's still very much in print still. So yeah, if you're having a good time, maybe consider getting a copy yourself. It is fun to go through it again. I will say, this is 100% the type of game, playing through it again, you kind of see all the foreshadowing. So it is fun to replay through it. Also, it just, how to put it? It retroactively makes things funnier and sillier at times because you know what's going on and then some of the characters don't. So yeah, it's definitely a game. Even if you know what happens, playing through it again is a treat. Anyway, that will be it for today. So once again, thank you all for whoever came, whether live or on the VOD. I very much appreciate you coming and spending your precious time on watching my I want to say content, but I feel like there's a better word, but content's gonna have to work for my poor brain today. Thank you all very much for watching my content. I do my best. But for now, I must end it here and bid you all farewell with a fun bye-bye, and I hope to see you all another time.